Up here, Bill. What?
Get out of here.
Oh, come on, Bill, back here. Come on. Oh, you all right?
Get out of here. Let's go.
Come on, come on.
I'm telling you guys. Holy crap, dude. What the heck? Oh my god. What was that?
Dude, I don't know what that was. What was that? Shit is circling us. Whoa. What the fuck? Oh shit.
Some wilderness encounters become terrifying when the sounds around you can no longer be explained. In West Virginia, something huge crashed through the brush as a group feared they were being surrounded, while in Arizona, screams and mysterious lights drove two explorers from the mountains. What was really happening in the darkness? On May 5th, 2026, the YouTube channel The Blue Ridge Mountain Boys uploaded footage from another nighttime trip into a Pennsylvania forest in the Appalachian region. The three friends had already investigated the area twice before and returned, hoping to find more evidence of the Wendigo, a creature from Algonquin folklore they believed they had heard during earlier visits. Like their previous trips, they arrived late and darkness was already setting in.
Well, tonight
we're late.
Yeah.
And we're going hunting again, guys.
As they reached the tree line. Almost immediately, all three noticed something strange. The temperature suddenly dropped, even though there was no noticeable wind. One member described the feeling as if a presence had entered the area and suggested that something might be pulling energy from the air.
We're
like at the entryway.
All of a sudden, the three of us get hit in the face with like, I don't know, 10-degree colder air.
It was like hard stop. Yeah, it was like warm, line, cold.
Freezing cold.
And it's still cold. It's still like, there's no wind. It's just like the whole temperature of the air is dropped.
They had not even reached the main path when they heard the first disturbing sound. According to the group, it sounded like a woman screaming from deeper inside the woods. None of them had been recording at that moment, so the first scream was never captured.
Yeah, buddy!
So,
We just heard a scream in the woods.
That's the woods right there. We were at the wood line and we just heard it.
Terrifying, blood-curdling woman like scream out there in the middle of the woods.
Like, I really wish we had that on camera, but unfortunately we weren't filming because we weren't even there.
Yeah, we're just
yet.
walking into
Yeah,
the
we're
entrance
just
over
walking.
here.
Yeah.
The path is that we're going to take is right about there.
But I swear, dude, that sounded like, and it hasn't done it since. It sounded like it was down that way.
Despite that, they continued toward the direction of the sound. Within minutes, they noticed movement between the trees. Then all three heard a deep, heavy thud they could not identify. The situation became even more unsettling because they had forgotten their flashlights. Their only light came from the camera flash and two phone screens.
We got possible movement, guys.
Yeah, we do have possible movement. We're not even
We're like going down in the woods now. This is the path.
Yeah, we're not even there yet.
Yeah, it's like movement coming from in there.
Do you see anything?
I don't see any.
Of course, this is the night that we forget our flashlights.
Yes.
I know.
And the thermal.
R.I.P. Luke.
Facts.
As they moved downhill, the camera flash repeatedly caught something in the darkness. It appeared for a moment, seemed to shift position, then vanished before anyone could clearly identify it. The group began to suspect they were seeing reflected eyes rather than a stationary marker, so they moved farther down the slope to investigate.
What is that? I don't know, bro. We see a flash out here, guys. Oh, there it is. It's like in the dark here.
no.
There it is.
What is
It
that?
keeps moving.
It's like a tracer.
Yeah. I lost it. I think it must have, I guess, gone off the camera.
No, it's down there by that stick thing. The shiny stick thing.
Oh,
there it is.
I got it on the camera again.
It's like we're catching someone's eyes with our cameras.
Middle of the screen just happened.
Behind trees or something, and then we like catch a glimpse of it. It looks like something's walking.
But when they reached the area, nothing was there. They crouched near the place where the possible eyes had appeared and listened. Instead of moving away, the strange noises seemed to change position around them. One member said it felt as though something was following them, while another admitted that was exactly what worried him.
You can maybe see if there's anything down there. Like, can you get on the camera?
No, I don't see anything.
I'm telling you guys. Holy crap, dude. What the heck? Oh my god. What was that?
Dude, I don't know what that was. What was that?
Then, an even louder sound came from the same direction as the earlier scream. The man holding the camera tried to imitate the noise, but could not reproduce its high pitch. He described it as one of the most frightening sounds he had ever heard in the woods.
Maybe pause for a second and see if we can hear anything.
All right, well, let's keep trucking.
Yeah, dude.
Guys, we just heard an insane sound from the woods.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of like in shock. we heard like a screech, just like the one that was on us, but it was coming from this direction again. All right, we're making our way up the path now, guys.
That very well may be the most frightening sound I have ever heard in the woods.
I mean, it sounded like the same sound that was on us.
Yeah, I mean, it was like that weird, like, squealy squeak sound.
Like a Wendigo scream, guys.
Oh, it's got thorns on it.
Well, I think we can say that there's definitely a Wendigo out here.
The group eventually stopped on the path and lit cigarettes. One member explained that they usually did this when they believed a situation might genuinely become dangerous. They had poor visibility and nothing available to protect themselves.
Start walking down.
Yeah, I say we keep walking up the path and just see what happens.
As you guys know, in a situation when you know that something's serious, we usually light our cigarettes. The reason for that is because if we die, generally in this kind of moment, I'm thinking whatever that is might very well kill us. So at the very least, we light a cigarette and enjoy the last maybe 5 minutes of my life.
Eventually, all three returned safely to their vehicle. They captured no clear visual evidence of what had been moving through the forest, only unexplained sounds and their own interpretation of the encounter.
I unfortunately don't know if we were able to catch it on camera, but, you know, hopefully we're going to play back the footage. I'm hoping that we at least got some of that audio. Some of that was close, so I'm sure we did. But I would say at least we can conclusively say that the Wendigo is present in these woods and it definitely taking a more aggressive stance to keep us out.
Yeah.
Before reviewing the footage, they said they believed the Wendigo was present and had become more aggressive toward them. They plan to return next time with a thermal camera. Cold air can settle in lower ground, while dense trees can distort distant sounds and make them seem closer or change direction. But what do you think caused the sounds they heard that night? An underground structure was hidden beneath this property. What happened after the team found it made the investigation even stranger. On May 20th, 2020, paranormal investigator Lou Rock returned to a property he had explored only days earlier. The house stood at the end of a road in western Massachusetts, with several small buildings and makeshift structures across the back lot. People in the area also had stories about a former owner. Lou Rock said he had always felt something unusual around the house.
This house right here, I've always had like some feeling like
this one at the neighbor.
There's a bunch of shacks in that lot right there.
The team returned partly because of Lucid, one of the investigators. Since their first visit, Lucid had repeatedly described an underground tunnel somewhere on the property, but no one had been able to find it. During the return visit, a man working on the house told them where to look. He directed them behind the stairs beneath a pile of dirt.
Just walk around. What's up with the underground bunker? He said it's near the stairs.
When they searched the area, they found an underground bunker beneath the rear of the house. A passage appeared to extend toward the neighboring lot, with steps built into it, creating a possible route between the two properties without using the road. While standing near the opening, one member of the team suddenly began feeling sick.
Whoa. And this cuts right over into there. And there's even stairs. So this guy could cut in and out of this yard. Where'd she go? She must... Redirect. Guys, ever since day one, Lucid has been talking about an underground tunnel. And there's one right here.
Oh man, like really feeling sick. Like yeah. I got chills and stuff.
Afterward, the investigators went back inside the house and started a spirit box session. The responses they believed they heard were fragmented and unclear. Among them, the group focused on a name, the word blood, and what sounded like a reference to a high price being paid.
What's the price? I said it was a high price you paid. And the minute I stepped here, it said blood. And I also believe that lady in the window, I was saying last night that was her. Whose blood are we talking about?
Then something happened that was visible on camera. During the session, Lou suddenly said his arm was hurting. He described the feeling as if something were squeezing inside the bone. When he raised his arm toward the camera, the others noticed a red mark appearing on his skin. As they continued filming, the mark became darker and more noticeable.
It's just getting redder and redder and redder. Like it's just, look, it's getting redder as it, yeah.
Here. You didn't smack your back, right?
No, not at all. Like how could he? Look, the hand is forming. No, because the hand, the fingerprints are up there.
The team left shortly afterward. Near the end of the footage, Lou asked Lucid how many people might be hiding somewhere on the property. Lucid answered that there were 5. Red marks can sometimes appear quickly because of pressure friction or changes in blood flow, so the footage alone cannot show what caused it. But was the timing only a coincidence? Or did something inside the property trigger the reaction? On April 26, 2024, Jared and Brandon from Exploring with Bear visited Moonville Tunnel in Ohio, an abandoned railroad tunnel hidden deep in the Appalachian region. Their channel centers on exploring unusual and abandoned locations, and Moonville was known for stories of strange figures, unexplained noises, and old railroad legends. The tunnel had been unused for decades, yet during this visit, something about the silence surrounding it started to feel increasingly strange.
Did you say something about an echo? Yeah, little echo. Not like the above the tunnels at the turnpike. That was a crazy echo. Ooh.
You hear that?
I heard that.
That sounds like a Bigfoot break.
Oh, you know what? Bigfoot for sure.
That sounded... There was no other cars when we came here.
No. That was a thud. Bigfoot?
Maybe.
So right here is where the tracks would have been. Walking, and some people's died right here on them.
As Jared and Brandon neared the tunnel, the first disturbing moment happened, before they had even traveled far inside. A loud thud suddenly echoed from somewhere in the nearby woods. Both men stopped and looked for its source briefly, considering whether it might have been something like Bigfoot, but nothing unusual could be seen. The situation grew stranger several minutes later.
Wait, you hear something?
I swear to God, I heard screeching. Metal screeching.
Metal screeching?
From everything, dude. But it was coming from that way.
That...
You were talking, and as soon as it got quiet, it stopped. Metal screeching. Came from that. No, it's real. Not no goofiness.
That's what we... I don't think we mentioned that one yet.
I don't know.
I forgot about that. That's... And you just heard... Now that you mention, I heard like a screeching, but I didn't even think nothing of it. And there's nothing... And that's right. There's nothing here, remember? To cause that sound.
Yeah, nothing.
But people will hear metal on metal, like when a train's going down the track. And that was just like that over there. Holy smokes, I got the goosebumps now.
Without warning, both men heard a metallic noise somewhere around the tunnel. They immediately stopped, looked around, and attempted to figure out where it had originated. Their reactions revealed how unexpected the moment was, particularly in a location where trains had not run for decades.
Yeah, guys.
Back in my day, K2 was something totally different than that.
Oh, I didn't show them yet. I forgot that. So when we was in the tunnel, Brandon found that container of drugs. For those of you that seen that, he found a drug pipe. That's crazy though, man. You got the eye for it, that's for sure. I'll have to remember to show you guys. But yeah, right there by the truck, we jumped out and there's a drug pipe on the ground.
This must be where Bigfoot takes his water in. This is his water hole, you know what I mean?
Wow.
He bathes there. He soaks in this.
That's why it's so dirty.
Yep, that's a Bigfoot lagoon right there.
Oh, Bigfoot's a dirty boy, I bet. We got litter bugs, dag nabbit. Quit throwing your trash out, guys.
Hey, can I be Bigfoot for a minute?
You can be. Oh, is that another?
It is, but the thing is, when you wiggle this, them up there wiggle.
Another unsettling detail emerged when Brandon mentioned discovering what appeared to be a meth pipe after they arrived. The find introduced a more practical concern to an already isolated location.
Doesn't it talk about this being like closed?
At 11, 6.
Yeah, closed
But
from.
if we're back here, who's gonna know?
Closed from 11 to 6.
We'd have to be off the beaten path in case, you know, the big bad horses came through.
There's really no secret parking spot around here.
Did you hear that?
I heard that. Did you hear that?
I heard that. Metal screeching.
That was metal screeching.
I told you.
I heard it that time.
I really did it.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. Hear it again?
No frickin' way. That's not a bird. That's...
No, because you can hear the birds and then you can hear that. 2 different sounds.
Man, I doubt you can hear that on camera, but that was metal on metal.
That's why it said be quiet out here. It said the quieter, the you'd experience more.
My heart's racing a little bit.
Daniel.
It sounded like something moving really slow. Like something wasn't turning fast.
Daniel.
Like a slow turn. Daniel?
Daniel. Daniel.
What in the world?
Daniel.
Wow.
Daniel.
Let's go in the tunnel.
After exploring the area beyond the tunnel, they eventually came back near dusk. The same kind of metallic screech occurred again. This second occurrence made the earlier noise more difficult to dismiss, especially since neither man could clearly identify where it was coming from.
Daniel. Dan?
I agree. Spread the love.
Yeah, Dan.
Love life, guys. I hope you all are loving life.
Sorry about your accident, Dan. Your name's Daniel.
Oh, that's sort of creepy. Look at that. Like the little kids. That one's eyes looks... Wow. That is some creepy children, man. Look at that.
As they moved through the darkened tunnel, their camera captured graffiti showing 3 children's faces with dark, hollow-looking eyes. The images were simply drawings, but inside the abandoned tunnel, they created another disturbing detail within the surroundings.
Somebody's smoking that.
Found a meth pipe? What?
You know how I know? Look, that's burnt. It only does that when you burn it. Isn't that crazy? Somebody's smoking dope out there, dude.
Wow.
No wonder Daniel's been pissed.
They later pointed out another burned pipe near the area. Then, while getting ready to leave, something else drew their attention.
I smell gas. I smell petroleum, man. Is that...
I smell it.
Where's that coming from?
Got a nice lock you have. I have a nice lock like that.
Where's that smell coming from?
I don't know, I smell it.
I don't know. I've smelled that before, though. You know, I've smelled that before. So it's not like gasoline. I wouldn't call that gasoline, would you?
I lost it. It'll come back. Right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Smell like Abercrombie or something. Stole my brother's phone.
You smell like your brother's cologne?
Yeah.
Both men noticed a strong chemical or petroleum-like odor in the otherwise remote surroundings. They could not determine its source. Eventually, Jared and Brandon safely departed Moonville, but the repeated metallic noise remained the most mysterious part of the visit. Several viewers also believed the metallic noise sounded similar to a train, while others proposed stranger possibilities. The abandoned railroad environment may also have affected how familiar sounds were perceived. If the tracks had been gone for years, what do you think Jared and Brandon heard twice inside Moonville? On July 21st, 2025, YouTuber Jake Bruce posted a video documenting his search through the Appalachian woods of Ohio for the legendary melonheads. According to the legend, these feral children were thought to be the spirits of orphans abused by a doctor decades earlier. Jake and his group planned to investigate 3 separate locations in one night, where reports had described strange sightings and red eyes appearing near the tree line.
Abused melon heads. I know this looks like a trail, but this is Weissner Road, guys. This is where the melon heads have been seen. So if you see anything physical, you hear something or see something, just let me know. Look, look, look. Horse tracks.
Yeah.
See them all?
Yeah, horse trail.
Because these are now horse trails.
Shit.
So the original bridge, I think, washed away in a flood and they rebuilt it. I think this is the real Crybaby Bridge. I think we actually found it.
I think it is.
According to the story, you're supposed to just turn off your lights and you're supposed to just like listen. So do you want to turn off that light and we'll just listen?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to hear the water. Did you hear that? There's like a branch that broke. There's like a... Literally all I'm hearing is mosquitoes in my ears. Melon heads? Little kids? You here? If we're not hearing anything, I don't see any footprints, I don't hear any kids in the woods, I'm going to get out the REM pod, which is a piece of paranormal equipment. Comes up and touches this like a ghost or whatever, or a kid with a big ass head, then we'll know. Okay, yo, it's going off.
At their first location, the group switched off their headlights and remained quiet, listening for children crying somewhere in the darkness. A nearby branch suddenly cracked. Shortly afterward, Jake brought out a REM pod, and the device activated almost immediately after he spoke. That was when Lex noticed something nearby.
Alexa?
What?
I thought I just saw the darkest figure I've ever seen behind that tree right there. And it just like peeked around and it went back. Hello? Somebody behind that tree? That is creepy as hell.
Creepy.
Yeah, I did not.
She believed she had briefly seen an extremely dark figure peeking from behind a tree before vanishing again. Soon after, a spirit communication app produced a single word, shadow.
Where Dr. Crow is buried. We're just gonna walk around and see if we find him. Hello, anybody here? You see that, Lex? I got it, but right there's 2 sets of lights that in my camera at least almost look red light, but it does look like eyeballs. I don't know, it just looks like it could be like people could mistake that as eyes. Here's a cray. Oh, look at that. Dr. Crow, are you here? Can you lead us to your grave? We may have seen you at the bridge. It is a creepy ass cemetery.
Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Why is it echoing like that? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
It doesn't really sound like a dog because it's like the way it echoes.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it echoing like that? That's so creepy. Sounds like it's coming out of hell. Hello? Lex, it almost sounds like a ghost dog.
The group later continued to King Memorial Cemetery while looking for the grave of the doctor associated with the Melonhead legend. As they walked through the cemetery, they heard a dog barking somewhere nearby. The sound echoed strangely across the area and seemed distorted enough to make them question where it was coming from.
Part by the woods, because the woods give me weird vibes over here. Oh, you okay? It just said back. It just told us to go back, like it's guiding us. Gravestone!
Hey, yo, holy crap.
Gravestone! Like it's guiding, it wants us to go back.
To a gravestone?
Just see if Dr. Crow is back there. It is literally like it's guiding us to his grave. Dr. Crow, could you keep guiding us to your gravestone like you said? Whose gravestone is back here? Here's a Gribble.
It's his cards.
Lex, why is that swinging so much?
Bruh, pin it to the tree. There's no wind.
Yo, yeah, what the No, like seriously. There's no wind out here. It's like spirits from the cemetery are communicating. Oh, what the It said use the phone earlier, bruh.
It did.
Do you remember that?
During another session, the device began producing words that seemed to guide them back toward a gravestone. Following those responses eventually led the group to an unmarked grave. Nearby, they noticed a tree branch moving noticeably, even though they could not feel any wind around them.
This is a spirit box and it scans through radio stations really fast. And I'm gonna see if I can communicate with the spirits of the Melonheads or Dr. Crow right here on this bridge. It just said hi. Hi, who are you? What do they call this bridge? Are the Melonheads real? This is genuinely scary. Does anybody haunt this bridge? What the hell am I hearing, bro? Okay, kids, this is the final chance to tell your story. Are you out here, Melonheads? Freaking creepy out here, bro. You sound like a smudge? Are the Melonheads real? Oh, I just saw something down there.
At their final stop on Visner Road, Jake used a spirit box in another attempt to communicate. Early in the session, the device seemed to produce a simple greeting. Afterward, the responses became increasingly unclear, eventually turning into static and noises they could no longer understand. One possible explanation is that darkness and expectation can make distant shapes or sounds appear more unusual while device responses remain open to interpretation. Do you think these encounters were paranormal, or could the surroundings have influenced what they experienced? Deep in Jackson County, West Virginia, the Sons of Appalachia began what might become their most dangerous investigation yet. They were pursuing reports involving a creature locals called the Dogman, but as they traveled farther into the area, the investigation took an unexpected turn. The video was uploaded on October 11, 2025. The investigation started after the team received information from a local farmer who preferred not to appear on camera. According to him, animals on his property had been killed, and his guard dog was discovered with its throat severely torn. The farmer believed whatever was responsible could stand nearly 7 feet tall.
Right now we're in Jackson County, West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Potentially going after the Dog Man.
Really? Does he go, woo?
I hope not, because that sounds awful.
It did.
Oh, whatever. So I talked to the local farmer whenever he called me. He's had some critters come up missing. He's had his chickens killed. He had one calf killed, but he had a dog that got killed. And he was describing it to me, and he said it had puncture wounds.
As the Sons of Appalachia traveled farther into the hollow, things quickly became unsettling. They spotted glowing yellow lights around 6 feet above the ground between the trees. Shortly afterward, a large rotting branch suddenly came crashing down close to the group.
You're ate up with it.
Yeah.
What was that? I heard it. Wait a minute. I got an eye flicker. About 80 yards, just down here at that one big tree.
There. All right, let's work up that way. Oh! What in the world?
Ready, guys. Move forward, do something.
Right,
Don't stand still. Don't stand still.
What's right there, Hank? What's right there, Huck?
Continuing down the trail, they encountered something even more disturbing. A coyote weighing approximately 45 pounds was lying directly in the middle of the path. Its neck appeared broken, while puncture marks were visible around its damaged windpipe. The team believed the injuries didn't look like what they would normally expect from predators in the area.
That ain't no deer, is it?
No, that's a dog.
That ain't no dog, that's a coyote. Ain't it? Right there's the horseman's dead, dude. That thing right there. I just heard something take off running up here, though. Oh, this ain't good.
Right there.
Oh.
Not long afterward, something large started crashing through the nearby brush. The noise seemed heavy enough to remind the group of a running horse. Whatever was moving through the forest appeared to circle their position, leaving the hunters increasingly worried that they might be surrounded in the darkness.
Oh, whoa. You hear it? Yeah, I heard something. You heard it? Yeah. It's like it's running right at us. It went right there and cut right that way right there. That thing sounds big as a horse.
Listen. Trying to get around us. We need to back up and back out of here.
Guys, I think we might be in a little bit of a bind here. What right there behind us? Huck, stay closer, please.
Bill then separated from the others, seemingly attempting to pull the activity away from the group as they headed toward the truck. Moments later, gunshots were heard along with timber breaking somewhere nearby. The remaining team continued toward the vehicle as the situation grew increasingly chaotic.
I mean, I definitely commend his courage. Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
It sounded like a gunshot. That was either a gunshot or a tree fall, wasn't it?
That wasn't no tree fall.
Well, that was the second one just then.
If we can't get a hold of him, we're going out the ridge.
Bill, you got a copy?
Well, there's something tearing through the woods. Look here. You can see it.
Yeah, right there.
Here, Bill.
Yeah.
Up here, Bill. What?
Get out of here.
Oh, come on, Bill. Back here. Come on.
Oh,
you all right?
you get out of here. Let's go. Come on. I tell you, shoot it. Get out of here. Go, Buck. Go. Shut the door. Shut the door. Oh.
I can't shout it.
In darkness, distance and thick vegetation can distort both the direction of sounds and the perceived size of moving animals, making encounters difficult to judge accurately. But what was powerful enough to frighten this experienced group deep in the West Virginia woods? On July 21st, 2021, the YouTube channel Urban Ghosts, Urban Exploration uploaded footage documenting a visit to Elk Mountain, Tennessee. After spending a long night at Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, the group made an unexpected stop at the historic ghost town. What started as a quiet exploration eventually left them with something they struggled to explain. Elk Mount was once a logging settlement before the park assumed control of the area. Residents who stayed behind received lifetime leases, but after those agreements expired, many of the remaining buildings were eventually torn down.
Wild freaking night last night.
They don't know about it yet.
They don't
it's a surprise.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see. By the time you watch this, you'll probably end up seeing that anyway. Went to Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, and on the way back, which is Elk Mount, which is a really cool historic district. It used to be a lumber town. When the park took over the area, anybody left in was afforded what they deemed as lifetime leases. When the leases expired, an act actually allowed them to start demolishing, but they are actually preserving some of them, and we're here to check them out. But we're gonna enjoy what's left and have a good time. Plus, beautiful day, beautiful freaking park.
The group explored what remained, passing broken foundations, rusty pipes, and collapsed chimneys. As they traveled deeper into the area, they discovered more surviving structures and tried to determine how the abandoned rooms had once been used by the families who lived there.
Really old structures. Well, this would have been somebody's home. This has history. And check these places out at night. There's definitely a lot more structures. I mean, this was an entire logging town. And a shame a lot of these families are uprooted. It was nice of them to at least lease out, but it's funny. This would have been the river access. There's so much more, but it's sort of scattered everywhere. A family used to live here. Multiple families over generations probably lived here. Little Granddaddy Longley. Fireplace, got the big mantle there.
When they entered one of the better preserved cabins, one member of the group suddenly felt uncomfortable.
Weird feeling in here.
She said the room seemed different from the others. Neither person could explain the sensation, but the atmosphere felt heavier, and they did not stay inside for very long.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's what they did back then when they wanted to get away from all of us. They'd come up here, and we started off with wagons. And they started off with Model A, Model Jeep trucks. And then one person told this person, and they just built their home. Half out. Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah. That was really cool.
It's cool because I kind of get an idea of what the stuff in the woods used to look like. Yeah. This would have been like washer dryer.
Right.
Puppies.
They are.
Such a cute little cottage.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's definitely nice. And they had a nice, like, back porch area. Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at the view they had. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Right. This is a huge drop off.
It's amazing.
See? This is cool. I think it's plumbing. Or I don't know. I think it's plumbing now.
They continued exploring for several more hours, moving from one cabin to another. Inside, they discovered old kitchens, clawfoot bathtubs, and other remnants of the former settlement. As the day progressed into evening, campfires began appearing throughout the park.
A washroom. Oh, you can sit out here. Get to listen to the water running. Yeah, it kind of does look like they just sort of added on when they wanted to or when they could, you know. Nothing seems to be super well planned out. It was just sort of, when they needed a extension, they built the extension.
The floor looks original in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's an appliance plug, right?
Is it?
Are those appliance plugs or
Yeah,
are
I think
those
that's
old
those
style plugs?
Yeah, those would have been old style plugs.
What was this room supposed to be? There's a shelf.
There's a clawfoot bathtub.
Those really old style sinks.
The kitchen in here. What is this?
Oh wow!
What is this
Oh,
thing?
that's cool. I'm not sure what that is.
Some kind of an appliance. I don't know. That was a door to get to something. Some kind of an appliance. No idea.
It's a water heater.
Oh, is it?
That's a water heater.
And I don't know. I don't know if that was if this was a kitchen or not.
Oh, this is really cool. This is beautiful.
People are starting to light up their campfires.
Yep. I'll go inside.
We'll meet up in the middle.
Eventually, they returned to their vehicle after approximately 4 hours of exploring on very little sleep. That was when one of them noticed fresh scratches across her stomach and arm. Neither person remembered when or how the marks had appeared.
We came up with.
I know.
We'll have to watch it all and get home.
Crazy thing is I got back. I have a huge scratch on my stomach. I doubt it though. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
It's crazy the
Right.
way it's creepy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely got a scratch on my, like somebody like grabbed, like dug into my arm. It was crazy.
That place is so haunted.
So
It's
haunted.
so scary.
So haunted for sure. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get out on the road. I'm starving, about to die.
Old structures can contain rough wood, metal, and other surfaces capable of causing unnoticed scratches, especially when someone is exhausted. But was that all that happened here, or did the strange sensation inside the cabin mean something more? On March 29, 2026, Lamar from the channel of The Men's Life traveled back into the Ingram Wilderness. The temperature was 2 degrees Celsius, and the surrounding Acadian forest seemed unusually silent and bleak.
We're back here in the Ingram Wilderness. There's something going on here. We've done a few videos already. I am meeting up with Frank and Angelo from the Exploring with Angelo channel. So we just arrived on location about a few minutes ago. I'm kind of ripping up the back roads here, and I'm trying to figure out if I can find that one spot that I really wanted to go to last time. And there were 2 campers there just kind of taking up the 2 spots.
He pitched his hot tent directly on the ground, without a floor, choosing to remain as close to the natural surroundings as possible. During the quiet period that followed, his spirit talker started producing strange fragments of words and phrases that appeared to reference curses and things buried beneath the ground.
Are you helping me?
I'm your favorite curse.
What the hell does that mean? So I'm just kind of making a barrier here so these things can kind of get dry. They are damp.
Later, while Lamar was sitting down to eat, a massive cracking noise suddenly came from the nearby woods. The sound immediately startled his dog Kia, who became highly alert. Lamar and the others also began feeling as though something unseen could be watching them from the darkness.
It's gonna be a long night. What the hell was that? It's okay, Key. It's okay. It's okay. There was like a pop or something. It's okay, Key.
Not long afterward, they heard noises resembling human voices coming from near the river. However, they could not see any other campers in the area. Lamar separated from his companions and followed a faint trail while using night vision, attempting to figure out where the voices were coming from.
Hauling out
a
in
human?
the woods. It sounded human.
Damn.
And we kept going. We didn't find anybody, no lights, nothing. Then something happened, and that's why we came back. So there is something and or someone out there, so just be cautious.
Follow the river. So how deep does it go down? Like, can you...
it keeps going. Yeah,
Really?
You just keep following the river.
Yeah, it goes on for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the underbrush suddenly erupted with the sound of heavy movement across fallen branches. Lamar believed something large and moving on 2 legs was circling him through the darkness. The footsteps seemed to travel rapidly through the forest, making the situation increasingly difficult to understand.
What's out here? Shit is circling us! Whoa! What the fuck? Oh shit! Oh shit! What do we do, Key? What do we do? What do we do?
As freezing rain began to fall, Lamar decided to retreat toward Grand Lake. The atmosphere in the woods had become too unsettling, and he rushed to pack his equipment before the approaching snow made conditions even more challenging.
Wendigo, Bigfoot, like rake type of crap right now. Oh. Man, I had no idea this was gonna be this sketch. Man, looking at this on the night vision is kind of whack. The boys took off down the road, so we'll see them in a bit.
At night, forest sounds can be surprisingly difficult to locate because darkness removes visual clues about distance and direction. Heavy footsteps or breaking branches may sound much closer or larger than they actually are. So was Lamar hearing an animal moving through the woods? Or was something unknown truly circling him in the darkness? On October 23, 2024, YouTuber Mo Sargi uploaded an exploration of Arizona's Superstition Mountains where he went looking for a legendary lost gold mine and the hidden wave cave.
Welcome back to another camping adventure. Today I am in the Superstition Mountains. There's a big story about these mountains and a real story too. A German guy that came from Germany one time, a long time ago, he came here and he found some gold, but he never told anybody where that gold was. Before he died, he told some lady the location of the gold, which is unconfirmed, and then till this day nobody has found the gold that he was like finding out in this mountain. And the mountains are super haunted because of the native warriors that used to inhabit this area. Apparently the native warriors don't like it when people come here trying to look for gold, and people go missing, they die. There's a cave up there that we're trying to get to and a waterfall. Also, it is really hot. There are mountain lions here. There are wild pigs that can kill us. There are rattlesnakes, different types of freaking scorpions.
At the base of the mountains, Mo described the intense heat, dangerous wildlife, and stories involving Apache curses tied to treasure hunters who vanished in the area.
Okay, so I've made it to the end of the trail, but I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go. I think it might be here to the left. Yeah, this is probably, yeah, I see the cave. It's way up there, up in that mountain. I keep hearing some weird noises in the bushes, not the birds, but something different. I can't make out what it is. It's freaking me out. No, that's just one of those birds. But what I heard was something different. Well, I made it to a gate. This gate says this gate should remain closed. If found open, please close gate. And that means there's some wild ass animals in here. Oh, all right, let's go. I'm trying to figure out, because there's a lot of barbed wire here. So I'm guessing this trail somehow curves and then goes up the mountain. I hope, at least.
As Mo traveled farther along the route, the trail became increasingly difficult to follow. Barbed wire and wildlife warning signs blocked sections of the path, while unexplained rustling noises repeatedly came from the surrounding bushes.
But whatever.
I mean, there's just a piece of whatever. I wonder why it's like that.
Looks like an envelope.
Yeah.
So random. I wonder if there's anything else over here to indicate why this trail is closed.
It's like a really old picture of a building.
That looks German.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's like a statue of some sort. He is here. You must go.
Look at the U. It's spelled with two boobies.
I know. I found something else with
that
too. I got a different trail. That's the reason why I came here.
A map? Is that a map of the United States?
Looks like it.
Damn, I haven't seen a map like this in so long.
Right? It's like exactly what I'm thinking. It looks really old. I don't see anything specific.
Yeah, maybe just someone dropped it, or. But why would it be in like a yellow envelope?
I don't know. Something weird is going on.
Oh, there's like two markings on it. Look.
Wait, what the fuck?
What?
I'm pretty sure that's Brampton.
Brampton?
Yeah.
That's where you're from.
Yeah, exactly.
That's weird.
Why would somebody... Tell me there's other ones.
There's only two, I think.
Yeah. But the other one's Ottawa.
What the hell?
Right?
That's where I'm from.
Dude, we're in the middle of Arizona right now. We're
Yeah.
like 30-something hours away from home. Okay, that's fucking weird.
Mo and his companion Angelo eventually reached a closed trail, where they discovered a mysterious yellow envelope. Inside they found an old map marked around Brampton and Ottawa. What made the discovery especially strange was that these were their hometowns, thousands of miles away from where they were standing.
What the hell was that? That sounded like a person, but that came from the mountain. Guys, we just heard we heard a loud bang coming from that way. But I'm pretty sure that was someone's voice.
I know, I heard that.
I'm gonna do a replay on that for you guys. I don't know. It's almost like something moved over there.
No car came through, so that doesn't make sense.
Nah, it ain't no car. Dude, we had someone scream or say something from the mountain. Now keep in mind, this mountain is sacred, right? What if the noises we heard was the Apache spirits?
I mean, it very well could be. What if they're mad because we're here?
Maybe that was a warning. I mean, it does say no camping here for a reason, right? Like, look at the sign here. It says no camping. I mean, we're still camping, I don't care, but I want to document this. Like, there's something literally just like yelled at us from the mountain. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty freaked out. Like, the fact that there was something loud that occurred over here in this area. I don't think there's like a person up there. I think it's spiritual.
After dark, they stayed at a campsite in an area where camping was prohibited. Suddenly, what sounded like an angry human voice came from the dark mountainside above them.
Bro, those are native whistles. That's native war calls. What the fuck? It sounds like someone, it literally sounds like an Apache, like a native, tribes person doing his calling. Keep in mind, there's no one else here. Dude, there's a possibility, and like it's 100% a possibility that we're capturing native spirits, aka skinwalkers. At first it was coming from the mountain, and then it's coming beside the mountain. Has it? Hold on, let's listen in.
I think so.
Yeah, it definitely stopped. What? Look over there. There's a light in the bush.
Oh, there is a light.
Yeah, it disappeared. What the hell? It came and it went.
Yeah, I think it... Oh, there's one. What is that?
I don't know.
The strange activity continued. Sounds resembling old flutes and native whistles echoed through the canyon. At the same time, Mo and Angelo noticed a light appear inside a nearby bush before quickly vanishing.
You heard that too? You heard it too? There's something out there. That was something in the
mountain. I don't see if I can see anything, but...
Bro, it feels like the ground is shaking.
What the fuck is that?
Let's get the fuck out of here. I think we pissed off the spirits. Huh?
I'm just telling them, we're not searching for their gold.
No, we're not, but I don't think they like me. We both come to agreement that because we pissed off some ancient spirits, we're not going to spend the night here. We're just going to drive to our next location.
They moved closer to the rocks to investigate. Then the ground seemed to tremble beneath them as screams came from somewhere in the darkness. The experience became intense enough that Mo and Angelo abandoned the area and left the mountain. Rocky canyons can reflect sounds in unusual ways, causing voices and noises to seem as though they are coming from the wrong direction. Still, that does not account for every detail they experienced. So what do you think was really happening on the mountain that night? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.